The quiet work of grace. Look around. The world is loud again. Markets tremble, nations argue. Wars threaten like thunder on the horizon. Every screen glows with urgency. Every voice shouting, pay attention to this. No, this. No, this fear instead. And somewhere in the middle of it all, a soul sits quietly in a room, wondering why their heart still hurts. Because the loudest battles on earth are not always the ones fought with armies. Sometimes the fiercest war is fought inside a human heart that learned how to survive before it learned how to trust. Beloved, this is the mystery few speak about. Christ did not only come to save nations, he came to restore the inner world of the human being, your humanity, its unseen places, the places that trauma tried to occupy, the places grief tried to bury, the places shame whispered, you will never be whole again. But grace does something different. Grace does not rush the wound. Grace sits beside it. Grace kneels in the dust of our humanity, the same way Christ knelt beside the broken, the possessed, the forgotten, the ones society had already written off. And he did not ask them to pretend. He asked them to come closer. Beloved, the cross was not only an event in history. The cross is a pattern of transformation. Something in us must be surrendered before something in us can resurrect. The anger we carried for years, the fear we disguised as control, the identities we built just to survive the pain. Sometimes what feels like losing ourselves is actually Christ gently removing what was never truly us to begin with. And I know, in a world that measures everything by speed, this kind of healing can feel slow. But the kingdom of God has never been built by hurry. It grows like seeds, quiet, invisible, and patient. And somewhere today, someone is forgiving the person they thought they never could. Somewhere today, someone is choosing not to destroy themselves. Somewhere today, someone is whispering a prayer through tears they do not yet understand. Heaven sees that. Heaven calls that victory. Beloved, the world will continue to tremble. Empires always rise. Empires always fall. But the kingdom of Christ is built in places no empire can reach. Inside a heart that finally learns it is loved. Inside a mind that no longer believes the lie that suffering is the end of the story. Inside a spirit that remembers its union with God. And maybe the question today is not, what is happening to the world? But rather, what is Christ healing within me while the world is shaking? Because those who allow grace to transform them from the inside out become something extraordinary. They become anchors in chaotic times, not louder voices in the storm, but steady presences through whom peace begins to flow. Beloved, grace is still working, Christ is still restoring, and the Spirit of the living God is still moving quietly through human hearts, tuning survivors and making them healers. Turning wounds into wisdom, turning those who once felt lost into living testimonies that resurrection is not only something Christ did, it is something he continues to do within us. Bless you, beloved, in him.